The only thing I can say properly on air is we did what we had to do at the time. We did what we did necessary. I remember a time when somebody was attacking us with axes and throwing shopping trolleys through the windows. We're human, we have families. We're going to protect ourselves as well as the clubs. So a couple of times, there has been times where I've had to go to people's addresses when they've hurt some of us. I started on the door early, like I said, so from 1995 I started. We're in 2021 now. The gangs and everything were in coalition with the doorman, which we spoke about before. There's normally a deal somewhere where one of the security or one of the doormen would know somebody in the clubs who was supplying everyone. And as long as they knew it was safe and their stuff weren't dodgy, these clubs wouldn't be open till that time in the morning. Let's not be stupid about it. People don't stay till 6 in the morning and they've been out all day and they're just on, having pints of Guinness. It don't work like that. So the club owners sometimes push you to let it go. And this is the club owners. Because if they don't let them do that, well, their club would not be open. So you're under a little bit of thingy as well, where you don't actually agree with it, but you have to let it happen. But then there becomes drug wars, and then over the years, there's people like the Albanians and the Polish coming over, and they want to take over, and they're pretty ruthless. Then they become proper, real bad problems. So late 90s, early 2000s again, was a bad time for it. And the doors sometimes, not me, but I know there's been people I've worked with where they've took drugs off someone, and the morning after, people have been round to his house and he's got a good hiding from the drug dealers. There's some doormen and some security staff, probably even to this day, because I do still get involved now and again. Some people do it for the buzz and to have a bit of power. For me, it was had the opposite effect. It actually calmed me down and learned me some manners, and probably saved me from either ending up in jail or on a completely wrong path. So for me personally, I think it made me more of a man. Even a boxer, you're going into a fight knowing you're going to fight. When you go to work and you leave your family, you know 9 times out of 10 you're either going to deal with an incident or something's going to happen. But it's how you deal with that incident. But in the 90s as well, in early 2000s, it weren't the customers, it was the door firms against each other that were fighting. That was the problem in the 90s, where they were fighting between each other to get more clubs, pubs, because they wanted it. So half the time it was gang warfare between the security firms, which doesn't happen now. Now it's totally different. They've all sort of had a respect for each other, and if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. There's none of that no more. There's a stigma around being bullies and stuff like that. I think the police have the same attitude. I think they thought that, because whenever they come, they just seem 9 out of 10 times somebody on the floor, and it wouldn't be the doorman, it'd be someone else. Even my own daughter said to me, Dad, when you went to work, especially after the time with my eye sockets and the times before that when there's been things, I've come home and there's been blood everywhere and it's been on the news that things have happened, because it has. It's been on the news where people have lost their life, where people have worked. She said to me, Dad, I couldn't sleep when you went to work, but I didn't know that at the time. And sometimes, if I weren't working in the daytime, that was my only income. So I had to do what I had to do, and the one thing I knew I could do was fight a little bit. So that's the way it was. But now I've got a bit older, if I knew I was putting them through that much emotional sort of distress of me doing it, I probably wouldn't have done it as much. But yeah, I can see how now it must be other people's families, parents, sisters, brothers. They must worry, because you are guaranteed something will happen. No matter what, how big or how little it is, there probably will be an altercation at some time or some night. So yeah, it's not the best job in the world. But if it's your only means sometimes of work, don't knock anyone who does work, no matter what it is. But maybe if I knew how much distress it caused, maybe I wouldn't have carried on. And 100% the biggest problem, and the best question of it is what you've just asked. It can be a person on his own who's just wandering down the street on his way home, and he will stop to wind the doorman up, all the security. I've seen it and I've had it done to me. And you wouldn't believe it at the end of the argument if either someone has hit him or he's hit them, and then you find out he's not even been in the club. He's actually just walking past. And then in the club, if you're a gang, sometimes you get targeted just to make a statement of being the gang. But yeah, 100% I do think people find the doorman or security for drama. And I think that's a great question, because it's one that still baffles me to this day of, why the fuck have you just done that if you've not even been in it or know anyone when you get to the bottom of it? So yeah, they do. 100%. Yeah.